guys. Finally, I'm getting another episode in a timely manner, rather than wait till the last minute and cram something in at the end of the month. I've got the floors done for the most part. I need to do the back portion where I made that package tray for the air ride and the gas tank, and I'll get to that. I'm not terribly concerned about it right now, but I do want to get to the doghouse or the firewall for the motor and the transmission. And like I said in past episodes, I'm going to use a wheelbarrow, so I'm going to chop it up. But before I get into that, I need to clean up my shop. It's a filthy disaster, and get my car up on the, or at least separate the body from the chassis, and we'll get that going, and I'll walk us through what I'm going to do, where my mindset's at as far as how I'm going to approach this whole wheelbarrow thing. I think you'll find it pretty interesting, or redneck engineering anyway. All right, let's get to it. So what I got is I'm gonna use the wheelbarrow. I don't have a plenishing hammer, English wheel, what have you. I'm using what I got, and that's what we're gonna do. So I measured the opening or the width of the wheelbarrow, and it was at 27 wide. This here is at about just shy of 29. So I'm going to trim this out, clean it up, get this all nice and straight. So I have a spot to wiggle the wheelbarrow in place to find the curve that's going to work best. But I'm gonna have to split it down the middle because the wheelbarrow is not 20 inches wide, it's 27. Cut off these lips, this rolled over lip. It's around 27. So what I'm gonna do, split the difference, cut it down the middle. Whatever the difference is in the middle, I'll trace that out, and then sheet metal in between. Hopefully butt weld it so it looks as clean as possible, being at the firewall. You see it from the under the hood side, if you do see it. Just want to make it look as clean as possible, but there'll be a bunch of back and forth as I cut this in half and get the pieces that I want that can tie into the transmission and the firewall where your feet would be, where the pedals would come through. Get all that taken care of, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Sorry about the fan. It's warm. I have a breeze on me. I have a dog sticking his head out the window. So I should probably have some dialogue, as if you haven't already seen what I've been doing. So I cut up the wheelbarrow, cut it in half, took it in quarters. Now I've got this guy, this little gem, right? I went ahead and trimmed it as best as possible. Just kept, I spared you all the footage as far as like the back and forth, cutting it, trimming it, cutting it. Boring. But now that I got this in there, I wedge it in there like so. Let's get it right here. And I bend this Works out pretty well. Still got to figure out the attaching it to the tunnel, but we're working with that. If I just kind of a trial and error until I can get it to the point where I can weld it in, and then I can bring this down, tack that in there of sorts. You know what I mean? And I can dolly that in, and then you know, just rinse and repeat the other side. Yeah. Okay. Whew. All right, guys. Next day, gonna work on the other side. Gonna clean up this as best as possible and just duplicate that. I'm gonna take the same measurements off of that, but pad it by like a 1/2 inch in case of any kind of discrepancies or any differences from the driver's side to the passenger side. So let's get cracking on this. I'm gonna wrap it up for this episode, but I'm into it. I'm psyched about it. Probably gonna get a lot of shit for welding a wheelbarrow into the firewall, but it works for me. Utilize what you got. Whoever says you can't get anything done without having, specific tools, whatever. Anyway, I'm happy with it. Super stoked. It's this part you really won't even see it once the covers, the valve covers or coil pack covers are on. Once they're on here, they kind of elevates it. Well, here, let's do this. I'll go ahead and lower it down for you guys, and then you can see what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about? So once you lift the hood up, and then the intake will be on. And I'm just gonna do. This is a runner, so I'm gonna paint everything black. Probably not a shiny black, just a black. It ain't gonna be no show car. I just want it to be clean. I'll fill in all these guys, these little jobs. I'll leave this one open just for one loom to come through. Keep it all clean, streamlined as best as possible without having a bunch of wires and shit everywhere. Fill that in, fill this in. I'll start new when I do the air conditioning, but I'm happy with it. It looks good. And it's got plenty of clearance. Sure, it's got plenty of room behind there. So, it's not super tight wrapped up in a bunch of metal, got plenty of ventilation around it, at least in my eyes, I would think. But I'm pretty stoked with it though. Came out looking pretty good. There's that. It's funny, it almost looks like a gigantic motorcycle tank. But cleared it off pretty well. Both sides look pretty clean. Went ahead and I was gonna butt weld the centerpiece. I opted to not. It was almost what's the point, because I'm gonna seam seal everything from the underside, and I've got ordered some sound deadener that I'm just gonna cover over all of this. I'm gonna address the underside first before I start sealing everything, because I still want to kind of finish weld everything on the underside. Just nip and tuck everything where it needs to be. But I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked. Hopefully you guys learned something on this. Basically, like what Nolan's fabrication and lack thereof. Utilize what you got, guys. By any means, it doesn't have to be, perfect. And I'm sure I'm gonna get roasted on the comments, but do it. The comment section is there for, I suppose. But then hopefully maybe it jars the brain loose as far as, what else can you use? I've known the guys that take completely different body parts off of, say, like a late model car that has nothing to do with the car that they're working on, just because it has the right contour or the curves with it. Use your artistic brain. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up for this episode. The next one will be I think I'm gonna address I'm gonna address these cutouts, these little holes here, and then finish this all in. Same with the opposite side. Address that, and then I'm gonna start taking measurements for the steering column. I've got a 30-inch is what I measured. That's gonna work best for me on this application. I'll address that. That's gonna use some math, and my math doesn't math. But we'll get to that. And then maybe do the brakes. Just have to address the brakes because they're accessible. They're on the underside. They're on the interior of the frame. Figure out how I can access that. Yeah. Anyway, utilize your time, guys. Get out there in the garage and start doing this. I waited around far too long before I even, started acquiring all these cars. The bullshit projects that I didn't even have the time or space to work on. Now I do. So, but you're gifted tomorrow. You're not guaranteed it. So, get after it. Time is our only true currency. So spend it wisely. And hope to see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. It's free. I mean, sure, you got to pay for your internet service, but to subscribe is free. It doesn't cost you anything. But I'd love to see more people follow and chime in with the positive responses. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks. See you around.